Casemiro has announced that he will be leaving Manchester United at the end of his contract in the summer. Now, Manchester United are on the hunt for a potential replacement with names such as Carlos Baleba and Elliot Anderson on the radar to replace Casemiro at the club. Now, in this video, we'll be looking at what sort of profile Manchester United need. Two of these players that could potentially replace Casemiro, the news on all of them, the likelihood of them joining Manchester United. Now, firstly, listen, it's very sad to see Casemiro go. Ultimately, it's the right decision, and it's the best decision for the future of Manchester United. But what a professional, what a leader, and what a guy to have around the club, an ultimate professional, and he's put United first, and he's been a very, very good player. So yeah, shout out Casemiro. But he will be leaving, and the first player that I'm going to talk about to potentially replace him is Nottingham Forest Elliot Anderson. Now, he is likely to leave Forest in the summer. He has a contract until 2029. Obviously, in January, there is no intention for Forest to sell him. The news right now, he's top of priority for Manchester United. He's a player they want to bring in. He's the player they have the most confidence in, and he's the player who, as all the midfielders out there, they prefer to bring in. Now, he has a lot of competition. Clubs like Manchester City are heavily interested over him. Newcastle have been talked. Obviously, he's played at Newcastle before, and I believe he is a Geordie. He was born in Newcastle, so that could potentially have a factor. But immediately, listen, Elliot Anderson is someone who transforms that Manchester United midfield. He brings an element of composure, quality, and ultimately ability to make those line-breaking passes. And you look at Casemiro's profile, he is a very similar profile to Casemiro. He can score. He can score goals. He's very good from set pieces, particularly delivering set pieces. He's very good at making clearances and defending and making interceptions. He can also make some good line breaking passes through the lines. He's very good on the ball. He likes to increase the tempo and dictate play. He's someone who always wants the ball. Now, and I think that's something that Manchester United need, and I think something that we've missed. I think obviously one good thing about Anderson as well, he's more of a younger option. Or a severe younger option compared to Casemiro, and I think that's something that we need. He just has fresher energy, more legs, and would be able to play more 90 minutes. Now, again, the one kind of concern over him would be his price tag. That is going to cost a lot of money. Now, apparently the rumours price is in the region of 50 to 90 million pounds. Now, I think Anderson is with that sort of player. You look at what he's done already. He will probably go to the World Cup with England, so that would be something that is taken into account at such a young age. He's obviously one of Forest's best players, but if they do go down, which does look most likely at the moment, he probably will go for a bit cheaper. As I said, he's an England international. He's got 3-4 years of Prem experience. He's on the rise. He's an English talent, so there will be a lot of money in that. But I think what he adds to his team immediately would be quite transformative in terms of the fact that he immediately improves his team. As I said, the quality that he has. For me, he has been the best midfielder in the league this season, up there with Declan Rice. And I'm not kind of shy to admit it. And I would love him to have him in this Manchester United team. Now, he does face a lot of competition, but I think the sort of profile that we need to be able to make those dictating passes, to be able to pick up the ball off the back three, demand sort of respect of the players. And I think he'd be able to fit that pressure of Manchester United. Now, another thing that's also been reported is he is waiting to the summer to make a decision, and it will probably be after the World Cup. Obviously, it depends on whether Pep Guardiola is still Manchester City's manager. It depends if whether Carrick or Manchester United bring in another manager in the permanent basis in the summer. It depends if United are in Europe. So it is a lot of factors in place, but we will have to wait and see what happens. But he is definitely the first option. I think he can make very good line-breaking passes. He improves the quality of this team massively. He's a sole midfielder that we need. He's a younger option. He's proven in the Premier League, which again fits Ineos' preference. The downside would be, again, a Nottingham Forest willing to sell. Where does the player want to go? And ultimately the price tag. Now, the next player is Carlos Baleba. Now, Manchester United have retained interest in Carlos Baleba for years. Well, not for years, but for at least maybe 2 seasons now. He's the player they want to bring in. He is someone on his side wants to join Manchester United and is willing to leave Brighton. Apparently, he wanted to leave into summer to join the club. In terms of price, again, Daily Mail are reporting that's going to be somewhere north of £60 million, closer to 75. I think Baleba is someone, yes, his poor dip in performances apparently haven't concerned Ineos. And I don't think they would concern me. I think he's a player who was going through apparently some personal battles. And he's a guy who has showed a lot of quality. Now, the one kind of question mark around this deal, or some of the question marks, would be the fact that, listen, he is a player that I think is less... I think Anderson's a better player than Baleba, honestly, and I think Baleba would need a lot more developing. I think if you look at the Baleba's strengths, though, elite ball carrying, he's got a wonder strike on him, very physical, aggressive. Again, but the main asset is his ball carrying, and I think he is a very, very good player. Now, Brighton are going to expect a lot of money for him, which is expected, but again, he's 21. I believe he has a contract for a few years yet. But I think it'd be easier to get Baleba out of Brighton than it is to get Anderson out of Forest. Now, again, this is a guy who wants to join United, so that would make it easier in that aspect. United have a heavily interest in him, and again, in the summer, United tried to get him. So again, in that aspect, he would be the sort of player that we need. I think he has a different profile to Casemiro. I think Casemiro was so much of less of a ball carrier. I think that was just due to his age, and he couldn't progress the ball through in that sort of way. Which is different. But I think that's something that United need at time. I don't think we have many players in the team that can carry the ball. I know Cunha can do it well, Ahmad and Mbeumo, but in terms of the midfield side of things, Bruno, again, he can't do it. He is quite old and he wouldn't be able to progress the ball through. And I think Baleba, that is kind of a unique talent that he has. Not saying that Anderson doesn't do that, but Baleba is pretty good at doing that. If you watch most of his games, that's one of the strengths that he tends to bring. Now, Baleba is a few years younger than Wharton. I think it's, oh sorry, not Wharton, then Anderson. I think he's 2 years younger than him. But again, he does have quite a few years' experience in the Premier League, and again, he's been a very, very good player. So they are two players. Baleba, 21 years of age, coming in from Brighton. Somebody Manchester United heavily want. Baleba wants to join United. Apparently, that is his dream move. There's not really too much competitors involved. He is happy to join the club. Now, Elliot Anderson, someone who, again, has lots of competitors. He'd be linked to Manchester City, Newcastle. There'd be a lot of Premier League clubs interested in. He's 23, so we will have to wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on the latest midfield situation. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.